To another edition of Check It Out. All right, friends, let's talk water heaters, and specifically, let's talk about water heaters with this kind of a new modern control module, and let's talk about lighting the pilot. Now, before we get too far, it is extremely important that you read all of these warnings and cautions that are on your water heater. Water heaters can be dangerous, so make sure you take all precautions, read and understand that before you start. Listen, if you smell gas at all anywhere around this area, do not try to light the pilot. You need to get out of that house, out of that building, go call from somewhere outside of that building, right? It tells you all these kind of specific instructions here. So make sure you're really careful if you start smelling gas on here. You definitely have a larger problem. So this guy right here is a Honeywell controller. And the first thing you want to do is make sure it's in the off position, and you need to leave it there for 10 minutes before you even try to start lighting your pilot. So if we look at our instructions here on how to safely light it, it lets you know that not only do you need to leave it there for 10 minutes, but it tells you that there's some circuitry in this guy here that is going to make you wait those 10 minutes for safety reasons. And basically what it's doing is it's saying that, hey, we want to make sure this chamber down below doesn't have any gas in it before we start trying to light this, before we try to start lighting the pilot. So, all right, we've waited our 10 minutes in the off position. So our next procedure here is to turn this down to the pilot position, which is straight down. And when we do that, it allows this button to be pushed in. When you push that button in, a small amount of gas will go down this tube to your pilot. And the next thing we're gonna do is start pushing the zapper button. And when we push the zapper button, a small amount of electricity goes down those wires and sends a spark to try to light your pilot. We're gonna do that for 90 seconds. So they tell you right here, do it for 90 seconds. If it hasn't lit within 90 seconds, you need to stop. You need to wait 10 minutes before you try this procedure again. And it warns you that there's circuitry inside here, so you need to wait those 10 minutes. If you don't, that might be the reason why your pilot is not lighting. So this guy is smart enough to know if you're trying to cheat that time and start it before those 10 minutes have come up. So before you even start, 10 minutes in the off position. Once we start right now, we're gonna push in that button and we're gonna start pushing our zapper. We'll do this for 90 seconds or until this status light right here comes on. If this guy starts blinking, it's telling us that our pilot is lit. So I've got the button pushed down and then I'm pushing this guy right here, trying to get us lit. By the way, I'm pushing it in increments of 3. That doesn't matter. As long as you're pushing it every second or 2 or 3, that's all that matters. And you see it right there. My status light just started blinking, so now I can let go of this button here and I don't need to push anymore here. So my pilot is now lit. And now I can turn this guy up to my desired position. And you can hear that flame come on, meaning it's going to start lighting, heating up the water. All right, I hope this helped you out. Hopefully you are smiling because you just lit your pilot. If your pilot's going out on a regular basis, keep in mind you might have something else going on. I have some other videos on this channel that tell you about the maintenance you need to do on this kind of a video. That's right, maintenance. I'm sorry, I said on this kind of video. I meant on this kind of water heater. About these Honeywell, especially control modules, not lasting very long. I'll put a link in the description on, and you can see where you can purchase those and how much they cost, and if that's something you can tackle. Again, talking about a sort of professional level to be able to change those out, or at least extremely handy, so make sure it's in your scope of abilities. And then we take this guy off here. There's a few different little tricks and tips down here. Number one is this is a thermocouple switch right here. This guy can pop out sometimes, and all you do is push it.
If today's video helped you out, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time. Here's some other troubleshooting videos for you right here.